On a rainy November afternoon in 1971, a man in a business suit boarded Northwest Orient Flight 305 in Portland, Oregon. Within hours, he would execute what many consider the only unsolved air piracy case in American history. But the official files contain details that investigators have never fully explained, details that suggest the man known as D.B. Cooper possessed knowledge that no ordinary hijacker should have had. Before we proceed, make sure to subscribe for more chilling investigations. It was November 24, 1971, just after 2 in the afternoon, when Boeing 727 tail, number November 729, Dan lifted off from Portland International Airport. The aircraft carried 36 passengers and 6 crew members on what should have been a routine 30-minute flight to Seattle. Among the passengers sat a middle-aged man in a black business suit, white shirt, and black tie. He had purchased his ticket under the name Dan Cooper, though media reports would later misidentify him as D.B. Cooper. The man appeared unremarkable to most observers. Flight attendant Florence Schaffner later described him as polite, well-groomed, and approximately 45 years old. He stood about 6 feet tall, with a medium build, dark hair, and brown eyes. His clothing suggested a traveling businessman, and he carried a black briefcase and a paper bag. 20 minutes into the flight, Cooper handed Schaffner a note claiming he had a bomb. When she initially dismissed it as another passenger prank, he quietly insisted she read it. The note, written in neat handwriting, stated simply that he had a bomb in his briefcase and wanted her to sit beside him. Cooper then opened the briefcase, revealing what appeared to be dynamite, wires, and a battery. What investigators found unusual was Cooper's demeanor throughout the hijacking. He remained calm, courteous, and oddly knowledgeable about aircraft procedures. He ordered bourbon and soda, lit a cigarette, and spoke with flight attendants as if conducting a business meeting. His demands were specific and precise: $200,000 in $20 bills, 4 parachutes, and fuel trucks standing by in Seattle. The Federal Bureau of Investigation noted several peculiarities in Cooper's behavior that suggested extensive preparation. He knew the aircraft's fuel capacity, cruising speed, and operational limitations. When discussing the parachutes, he specified that 2 should be primary chutes and 2 should be reserve chutes, indicating familiarity with skydiving equipment protocols. After the plane landed in Seattle, Cooper released the 36 passengers, but kept several crew members aboard. During the 2-hour refueling process, he demonstrated knowledge that puzzled investigators. He knew the 727's aft stairs could be lowered during flight, a feature unknown to most passengers and even some pilots. He also understood the aircraft's minimum airspeed requirements and flap configurations needed for his escape plan. Cooper's choice of bills raised additional questions. He specifically requested $20 denominations, which investigators later realized would be lighter and easier to carry than larger bills. The Federal Bureau of Investigation photographed the serial numbers of all 10,000 bills, creating a detailed record that would become crucial evidence. As the aircraft prepared for departure, Cooper provided the crew with specific flight instructions. He wanted to fly toward Mexico City at low altitude, with landing gear extended and flaps lowered to 15 degrees. These specifications would reduce the aircraft's speed to approximately 150 knots, making it possible to survive a parachute jump. The flight crew noted Cooper's unusual calmness as they departed Seattle. He had changed from his business suit into a white t-shirt and had secured the money bag to his body. At approximately 8 in the evening, somewhere over the dense forests of southwestern Washington, Cooper lowered the aft stairs and disappeared into the stormy night. The most baffling aspect of Cooper's escape emerged during the subsequent investigation. Weather conditions that night were severe, with heavy rain, strong winds, and near-freezing temperatures. Cooper jumped wearing only a business suit and a thin raincoat, carrying a briefcase and the money bag. Professional skydivers considered survival under these conditions nearly impossible. Yet physical evidence discovered years later suggested Cooper may have anticipated these challenges. In 1980, a young boy found $5,800 in deteriorating $20 bills along the Columbia River. The serial numbers matched Cooper's ransom money, but the bill's condition puzzled experts. The money showed signs of extended exposure to elements, but the pattern of deterioration didn't match typical weathering. More disturbing were discoveries made by investigators who re-examined Cooper's seat and the aircraft interior. They found microscopic metal filings embedded in the fabric where Cooper had sat. Laboratory analysis revealed the filings contained titanium, an unusual metal rarely found in commercial applications during 1971. The presence of titanium suggested Cooper had recent contact with aerospace or military equipment. The Federal Bureau of Investigation also uncovered evidence that Cooper had inside knowledge of Northwest Oriente's operations. He knew the airline's procedures for handling hijacking situations and seemed familiar with the specific aircraft type. Former employees later revealed that Cooper's chosen flight path took him directly over areas where the airline conducted training exercises. Investigation files contain one final detail that remains classified. On the morning after Cooper's jump, ground crews at Portland International Airport discovered something in the jetway where Cooper had originally boarded. The object was immediately secured by federal agents and removed from the sea. Airport personnel were instructed never to discuss what they had witnessed. The case officially remains open, though active investigations ceased decades ago. Cooper's true identity, his fate, and the source of his extensive knowledge about aircraft operations continue to elude explanation. The titanium filings, the precisely deteriorated money, and the mysterious object found at Portland International Airport suggest Cooper's story involves elements that investigators have never publicly acknowledged. What do you think Cooper left behind in that jetway that required immediate federal intervention? Subscribe to explore more cases where the official story conceals deeper mysteries.